Well, the internet, or bad internet, I should say, fucked up my stream. In the meantime, since we do supposed to have a goddamn topic here, I'll just go right on ahead and actually get to that topic. So yeah, we had a gnarly disconnect there, but it'll be all right. So, all right, I'll make sure everything is lined up. Make sure I got my porn up. All right, so we got some news here in a video I want to react to. So let me just get this going. So if my webcam freezes, that's normal. Don't worry about it. All right. So I'm looking at some news here first because I want to know what's going on in the world. So this is kind of weird to me. So this says Joe Biden leads Donald Trump in 8 polls. Now I guess first off, I got to know how many polls are there. Are there 100 polls? Are there 50 polls? I'm a little confused because it seems like with everything going on with the disaster of the Joe Biden administration, I don't see how what's that on my nose? Oh. But I don't see how people can still have faith in this guy. Like, is he? I'm not one of those guys. As much as I love a good conspiracy theory that's saying that they stole the election, but this time around, I really cannot believe that Joe Biden would beat Donald Trump, because his administration has just been god awful. But it's saying that he's ahead in some of these early polls, which is kind of interesting. And so it says President Joe Biden leads former President Donald Trump in a contest between the two candidates, according to 8 recent polls. The surveys give Biden a slight lead on a national basis, ranging from 1 to 3 points, though it isn't clear if it would give him an overall victory due to the Electoral College. On March 12th, Biden and Trump each won a series of primary elections to become their party's presumptive presidential nominees. This focused attention on how a likely presidential election between the two rivals would play out. A mainstream research Florida Atlantic University survey of 1,053 American adults conducted between March 15th and 17th found that among likely voters, 47% would vote for Biden if the election for president were held today, against 45% for Trump. 4% said they would vote for another candidate, while 4% said they were undecided. I think those 4%ers, they might be the smartest out of everybody. Ipsos and Reuters conducted a poll of 3,356 registered voters between March 7th and 13th that found 39% would vote for Biden if the 2024 election were today, against 38% for Trump, with 11% for some other candidate, and the remainder were either unsure or not voting. Civic surveyed 1,324 registered U.S. voters online between March 9th and 12th, finding that 45% would vote for Biden in an immediate presidential election against 44% for Trump. But these early polls probably don't mean much. But I'm just confused at how even that many people could still have faith in Joe Biden. You don't have to be a MAGA hat wearing Trump Trump sneaker stomping Republican. I got you. But I mean, this has been one of the worst presidential administrations I've ever lived through. I mean, it even puts Bush to shame. And I remember all the hate that Bush got. I mean, Biden, he's taking it to a whole different level. Oh, man. But when can you actually vote? When can you vote? Safe EXP. Welcome to the stream. I was streaming earlier and then it got disconnected. So now I'm here just gonna get right to some news and a reaction. Not surprised Americans are getting dumber and dumber. I'm surprised. Shit. This is bad. What happened to everybody being upset about the border? What happened to all that noise? Here you have the number one suspect. You have the prime culprit in this whole border issue, Joe Biden. We know it was you. Like I don't get it. Like is the Trump hate really that strong? Is it that intense that people are like, well, I'll take Joe Biden over Trump? That's weird to me. That's weird because I was never a Trump fan. I just thought it was funny that he won. I was just enjoying the reaction. Like when he won back in 2016, that's all I cared about. I just thought it was funny. But now I feel like, you have a side by side comparison. You got the Trump presidency and you have the Biden presidency. So I don't see how you can look at both and say, well, I'm gonna go back for Biden. Regardless of what you felt about Trump, this has just been terrible. We look like a straight up joke. So here's another funny article here by our good friend Ben Shapiro. I heard people talking about this on poll, and I was like, say it ain't so. So he said, Ben Shapiro said, no one in the U.S. should be retiring at 65. Ben Shapiro said Social Security was not designed to provide retirement benefits for 20 plus years, and those who expect that are crazy. Okay, so of course, this is a very controversial take because, old people, they love their Social Security. They need their Social Security. But, Ben Shapiro here, and oh my God, he thinks retirement is stupid. Okay, anyway, Americans can start receiving their Social Security retirement benefit as early as age 62. But should they? According to lawyer and political commentator Ben Shapiro on an episode of The Ben Shapiro Show, it's insane that the U.S. hasn't raised the official retirement age. President Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when you would be eligible for retirement, Shapiro says. Now, hold up. Hold up, because some caveats here. One, it is widely believed that Joe Biden is currently suffering from dementia. Just because you're doing the job doesn't mean you're doing a good job, doing good at the job. Here, I mean, I'm just saying Joe Biden is not a good, don't use Joe Biden as the example of old men or old people working past retirement age, because his presidency and administration has been a fucking disaster. And most people believe that he's suffering from dementia. But not only that, I don't think it's really fair to use him as an example because he's a career politician. Everybody doesn't work the same type of jobs. There are a lot of people, they work jobs that are much more like physically demanding. So working a political job or being in politics versus working in a fucking factory or on a farm is completely different as far as like the wear and tear on your body over the years. So you can't just look at certain groups or certain occupations where people are working past 60 into their 70s and 80s and use that as the example, because everybody aren't working cushy office jobs where you're not doing back breaking work. There are some people who are literally doing back breaking ass work. My mom, she used to work in a factory actually, and she quit that job because she said, it was as she was getting older, it was taking more and more of a toll on her body. And she's noticing how people who are still working there, who are like close to her age, like in their 50s and 60s, like they're slowly breaking down. People she used to work with, they're walking with a limp now and stuff like that. So you can't just say, oh, oh, Joe Biden over here, or use a lawyer as an example. See, it's easy for Ben to say that as a lawyer, a political commentator. He's not shoveling shit. He's not a plumber. He's not on his knees. He's not doing construction work and shit like that. So you got to take that into consideration when you're talking about the age at which somebody might retire. Because everybody doesn't have easy, I'm not gonna say easy, but everybody doesn't have a job that's not demanding of them physically and will slowly break their bodies down. I've heard a lot of guys talk about why men should get trays and things like that. But then I've heard some pushback about that too. I've heard guys say that, a lot of these guys don't realize that trays are like a young man's game. Like a lot of them are like physically demanding and things like that. Like it's going to break you down over time. So again, you can't expect everybody to have the same kind of work and to be as able to comfortably age as a lawyer or a career politician or something like that. Rather than raise the retirement age, however, Biden's 2025 budget calls for raising taxes on high earners to pay for Social Security and Medicare. But Shapiro says there aren't enough high-income taxpayers for that. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem, he says, adding that once you lose your purpose in life, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. Well, again, I think that to be fair on his side, he said health problem. And so you could say that, okay, my job is just too demanding for me to continue working. That can be considered a health problem, I guess. But you also have to think, everybody isn't working a job that they would consider to be their purpose in life. I always say that somebody got to drive the bus. Somebody got to be the bus driver. Somebody got to be the janitor. Somebody got to be this. Somebody got to be that. Everybody's not working a job that they're passionate about. Some people are working a job as a means to an end, and they're looking forward to retirement so that they can actually do the things that they want to do, the things they're personally interested in. But aside from that, Shapiro argues that raising the retirement age makes sense on a fiscal level. Is he right? I mean, I'm sure in terms of like money, yeah, because you're not gonna be paying as many people Social Security. Should the retirement age be raised? According to Shapiro, there's a straightforward reason the retirement age should be raised. Average life expectancy has increased in the last few decades. Back in 1935, President Franklin Roosevelt established 65 as the official retirement age under the newly established Social Security Act. At the time, the average life expectancy in the U.S. was 60.7 years. So the average American would have been lucky to even reach retirement. That's kind of fucked up when you think about it, though. It's like, look, hey, man, we got this new Social Security program. We're going to take care of you when you're old. But the catch is you're probably not going to make it to that age to begin with. Today, the average life expectancy is closer to 80, with 76.4 years being the national average. While you can start receiving your Social Security retirement benefit as of 62, you won't receive your full benefit until you reach your full retirement age, as defined by the Social Security Administration. You can start receiving Medicare at age 65. However, the idea that you can work for 45 years and then receive Social Security benefits sufficient enough to support yourself for another 20 plus years is not fiscally sustainable, Shapiro believes. And, I think right here, he does have a solid point, because if the money isn't there, then it's just not there. And it is an important note there that Social Security came to be during a time when the life expectancy was lower. And so life expectancy is going up, but people still have the same expectation of being paid throughout the duration of their retirement or old age, which is becoming longer and longer because of increasing life expectancy. So if the money isn't there, then it's not there. But man, that's always gonna be a hard sell to the older generation because nobody's gonna want to give up, the ability to retire, at 60, whatever. Not only that, but it's probably not going to be enough to live on, at least not comfortably. The average monthly Social Security check is $1,907 according to the SSA. Over the course of a year, that isn't much higher than the federal poverty level, which currently sits at $15,060 for individuals. So if it's that little though, why are they complaining? But I guess if you're talking about like millions and millions of old people, yeah, that's probably kind of bad. Wait, how do I always forget the right one? Boom. Yeah. Well, should be noted, Ben Shapiro. He's a Jewish man. Not that has anything to do with it. I'm kidding, YouTube. Come on. I'm kidding here. The average American life expectancy is like 76. Should be able to retire below 65, especially if it's physically taxing. Unkuno, welcome to the stream. Trump 2024, yeah. Nobody else is gonna win. I think I like RFK. What's his name? That Robert Kennedy, whatever his name is. But he doesn't stand a chance. And then on top of that, he got the voice thing. He got the weird voice thing. It just is. It's not gonna work. it's not gonna work. I'm sorry. If he didn't have that voice problem, oh man. But his voice is so hard to listen to. It's like cats scratching against chalkboard. He has a terrible voice. I know he has like a condition or something, so I'm not trying to make fun of him, but it's just like how are you gonna be a career politician and people are gonna be suffering listening to you talk? He has such a grating voice. Is it easier to be a NEET as a black person? Sure. Oh yeah, expectations are much different. No, I wouldn't say as a black person. I would say if you live in the hood. if you live in the hood and you're like the typical single mother raised in a single mother household, yeah. Because expectations are different. The expectation for me is I'm supposed to have 2 baby mamas. I'm supposed to be in and out of jail. I'm supposed to be smoking weed and drinking and shit like that. And so, I'm able to keep the heat off just by staying out the way and not being trouble for my mom or my family. My dad actually showed up. My dad came a while ago, maybe like a month and some change ago. He showed up. And he told me and my niece, and he said that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you guys for staying out of trouble. And I really appreciated that, because that showed that my dad understands the value of look, I get it. I'm broke. I'm unemployed right now. But my dad understands the value of having a child that stays out of trouble. Having a child that, you ain't got to get on Facebook and you see his mugshot being passed around, right? Seeing his mugshot. So I think it's just the fact that in the black community, especially in the hood or in the projects and hoods and shit like that, or at least around that area, expectations are just lower because you're expected to not only fail, you're expected to fail in epic fashion, right? 3 kids by 2 different women, felonies on my record. This nigga can't stop smoking weed. Pit bulls in the background. Pit bulls in the backyard. Like, that's the expectation. And one thing I'm good at is just staying out of trouble. You stay out of trouble, that goes a long way where I'm from. And not only that, to stay out of trouble, but to also be of help to your family, cooking and cleaning and doing errands and shit. You know, that's my secret. It's just stay out of trouble. Just stay out of trouble. Imagine wanting to work longer. Well, again, that Ben is a lawyer, political commentator. I think he might be biased because, he has a line of work that is something to be passionate about. That is like, I can see him being so passionate about his work that he wants to be that forever to his, right? So, but he has to understand that everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have a job that they love showing up to. Everybody doesn't have a job that they're really passionate about. Everybody doesn't have that. Everybody isn't in that kind of work. I see people who are in their 50s and 60s working at Dollar Tree, Maxway Roses, and little Family Dollars, Generals, and stuff like that. They're not. That's not a job you want to be working into your 60s and 70s and stuff like that. And so, I just think y'all got to take that into consideration. But I do think that that the core of his point that it's not sustainable. I don't know what the budget looks like, because they'll say that, but then you're sending billions to Ukraine. You're sending billions to Israel. You're spending billions in taxpayer money on these little illegal immigration projects they got going on and shit. So they say it's not sustainable, but is that even true in of itself? You got to question everything. But let's assume that it's not, because again, it was something that we created when the life expectancy was much lower. So I think that's a solid point, because like I said, if the money isn't there, then it ain't there. Yeah, I guess you got to figure out what the money really looks like what it really, because I don't want to hear it's unsustainable when you're sending billions on to other countries and shit to fight their war, help fight their wars. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear what the money really look like. That's what I want to know. The French prime minister demanded the retirement age be 2 years older. Yeah, I remember that. I think weren't there protests for a while? Then everything died down. Somebody asked earlier, what's the solution to societal problems? Excuse me. Mass protests, but effective protests, not just signs and shit. You got to shut the system down. You remember in Canada when they had those trucker strikes, those trucker protests, it got so bad that they froze their bank accounts so that they couldn't receive donations and money from other people. You want a solution? That's what people would have to do. You would need the essential workers to come together and stop working. How do you defeat the system? You stop feeding the system. It's that simple. But the problem is it's hard to orchestrate that sort of thing. It's hard to do. And you saw but again, I think it's important to look at the trucker strikes in Canada as the example. It was so effective that they had to freeze their bank accounts. It would take mass cooperation of essential workers that the system needs to just stop working. But of course, that's difficult because you stop working, you stop eating. So the level of preparation and cooperation to make that work would right. That would be astronomical. But that's how you would beat it. That's how you would beat the system. To beat the system, you starve the system. We all know the other way, but I don't condone that, right? You know, we don't want another revolutionary war. So let's take that idea and put it in the trash can. But peaceful solution, mass protest. Stop feeding the system. Stop. Don't show up to work. Don't show up to work. Stop feeding. That's the way. Every government, every society, every system is made up of people. People who work jobs, people who keep the wheels turning. If those people get together and say, I'm not doing shit, you get enough of them, and the system has no choice but to either put its foot up your ass to such an extent to where it will be a humanitarian crisis, relent, and actually go along with your demands, or just do nothing. But if it does nothing, then the system is going to crumble. So, but that's what I believe. If I had to present a solution, I would tell everybody, look at the farmer protests, look at the truckers protests. That's where you want to look if you want a solution. You gotta shut the system down. You gotta stop feeding the system. That's how you beat the system. When you keep feeding it tax money and you keep showing up to work, you complaining online, but you keep showing up to work. You the bus driver complaining about illegal immigration, and you get your ass on that bus and you riding the illegal immigrants to New York. I mean, yeah, you got to shut the shit down. Right? It's kind of similar to the bus boycotts during the civil rights movement. Black people, we were tired of riding in the back of the bus. So what do? We stopped riding the bus. We carpool, and of course that took sacrifice. Right? What you saw was black people coming together and saying we're not going to accept the injustice anymore. But it required mass cooperation of black people. We're not going to ride the bus anymore, and so that was effective because the bus companies, they lost the black dollar. They lost black money from that. So it's like, hold up, we can't keep having them in the back of the bus, and if that means we're not gonna have their support, we're not gonna have their money anymore, right? If you want a non-violent solution, that's the way to go. But it's the level of cooperation required is just so high, right? That's why I tend to be a pessimist about shit like that. Just too much. People are too divided now. People are too goofy now, you know? We're too goofy for shit like that now. Water. I wish I had some Fairlife milk, but that's like a luxury when you're broke. America pays more for healthcare than every other country, and yet has worse healthcare than most first world countries. That's sad. Yeah, we don't have. We're not one of the countries with good old free health, good old free healthcare. Can you get unemployment or something to that effect? I think to get unemployment, you have to have been. Oh, I was. Yeah, I did. I did work. I might have missed that boat though. Fuck! I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think. No, but I don't know exactly how it worked, but because I quit. Do you get unemployment when you quit? Because I had quit my last job, but I think you gotta have been working to get unemployment in America. I don't think they just give you unemployment for not having a job. I don't think they just give it to you like that. I used to get food stamps, but now food stamps work the same way. Where in order to get food stamps, you gotta be homeless. You know, I know people who lie and they say they're homeless to get food stamps. I don't. All right, I'm not in the business of finessing Uncle Sam, so I'll stay away from those tactics. But back in the day, I had food stamps. Boy, I used to love. Oh man, you get that card? You get that card every month? Well, you got one card, but you get the food stamps every month. And man, I would just be waiting. This was when I was deep in the NEET life, like deep. This is when I was depressed and needing. So, right, I was depressed, but I was living large. But that food stamp day roll around, and I got the local grocery store is a food line, but Walmart is cheaper, but it's like miles away. I didn't care. And I didn't have a car back then. So I would get like a suitcase and walk my ass to Walmart and and just go shopping there. Like I'll wait. No, in fact, I would leave at like 5 in the morning because Walmart would be open by like 6 or 7. And by the time I got there, they'll be open. And then I'd do my shopping then. But yeah, I had food stamps back in the day. I mean, his argument kind of falls flat when the grand majority of jobs are completely garbage. Yeah, yeah. Like most jobs aren't going to be like even outside of like jobs you would be passionate about. You got to think about jobs that are just physically demanding, and you just won't be able to work into your 60s and 70s without just destroying your body in the process. So you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at the big picture there. But for me, everything starts with the money, with the budget. How much money do we really got? That's what I want to know. I don't want to hear nothing about raising the retirement age when you sending billions to other countries. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it not one damn time. If they do that, y'all old people better raise hell. Y'all better raise hell. Y'all better get them walking sticks, them walkers, them goddamn scooters, and hit the streets and raise hell. If you want people to work longer, they should be treated better or more opportunities to do meaningful work with lesser options. I think, but see that's the part that the government never talks about. That's the solution they never give. It's just like the whole low birth rate problem. Nobody ever says, how about we treat the people better? How about we treat people better? How about we construct a better society for people where they would want to reproduce, where they would want to have kids and get married and things like that? Why don't we actually focus on that? All the pressure is put on the people, right? Like we're supposed to just be mindlessly reproducing as taxes go up, wages stagnate, illegal immigration, and these wars are popping off, and then this and that, and right, like, oh, but through it all, make babies. Come on now, right? I think, yeah, like the one solution we never hear from the government, we should treat you guys better. How about we treat the people better? That's what I would do. I'm like, okay, let me just start treating my people better. Like step one, make the people happy. I don't know. It's probably a lot harder than that though. The oligarchs are pushing it too much with the wages. Ben Shapiro also said people should work more. The oligarchs say AI will replace everyone, even themselves. Well, I think didn't Elon Musk say AI was gonna be smarter than the average human or something like that by next year? Hold on, I got one more article. We gotta look at. Hold on, let me see. How do I get this? Boom. Okay. This one might be a little funny. So do you guys know about that Ozempic drug? I think it's like this injection or something that you get that's supposed to help with weight loss. And so apparently the headline here says dozens sue saying Ozempic, other weight loss and diabetes drugs cause harmful side effects. Hold up. That's a water burp. I haven't eaten all day. All I ate was a damn multivitamin. Okay, so Paulson Bronston tried different medications to manage his diabetes, no avail, before his doctor suggested a new drug. In 2018, the doctor advised Bronston, who lives in the Navajo Nation, to take Ozempic to lower his blood sugar. The benefits outweigh any risk of side effects, his physician said. Bronston of Cayenta, Arizona, a small town east of the Grand Canyon, continued to take Ozempic for several months, even though he experienced severe diarrhea and discomfort. One day, the pain was unbearable. I started hurting really bad. I got yellow eyes and stuff like that, Bronston said. Next thing you know, I was in the hospital having my gallbladder removed. Bronston and dozens of other patients are suing Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, the two companies that make drugs within this class of medications, saying they suffered distressing digestive symptoms such as gallbladder removal or gastroparesis after taking the drug. Millions of Americans have flocked to this popular class of drugs known as GLP-1 agonists or glucagon, like peptide 1, which are prescribed for diabetes and weight loss and have become a blockbuster category of medications for drug companies. So I've been hearing about these drugs a little bit. I think recently, probably like the last 6 months. So apparently, it basically allows you to lose weight very easily, very fast. My mom she was the one that told me about it. And cause I think she knows some people who took it. And, she said that she don't think she would take it because of like the side effects and things like that. But I think that's where I heard it from, my mom. More than 6 lawsuits accuse Novo Nordisk or Eli Lilly of failing to notify patients about the side effects of their popular diabetes or weight loss drugs. Those drugs include Novo Nordisk Ozempic, Wegovy, and Ribosys, and Eli Lilly's Trulicity and Mounjaro. These personal injury cases have been centralized under a federal judge in Philadelphia because they share common elements involving the same class of drugs. Among the more than 6 lawsuits thus far, Novo Nordisk, maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, faces the most suits. However, the attorneys expect the case will eventually include thousands of others who say they were harmed. In a statement, representatives of Novo Nordisk said the cases are without merit and the company intends to vigorously defend against these claims. The Denmark-based company said its GLP-1 drugs to treat diabetes and weight loss have been on the market for 13 years and have been studied extensively. Novo Nordisk makes the diabetes and weight loss drugs semaglutide, which is sold under the brand names Ozempic and Wegovy. On March 8th, the drug maker gained FDA approval to market Wegovy to reduce the risk of stroke, heart attacks, and other serious cardiovascular problems. So I guess for me, the issue is whether or not the side effects were known. Because if you know, if you know that there are going to be serious side effects and they let that be known, like, hey, you take this drug, it might help you with your weight loss. It might help you with your diabetes, but these are the side effects. If they knew, then I don't see where they would have a case for a lawsuit. But, based on recent events, we have seen pharmaceutical companies kind of shy away from revealing potential side effects or hiding or obscuring these things. So for me, that's really what it comes down to. Because even when I first started hearing about it, I was hearing about, yeah, it's effective for weight loss, but these side effects can be severe. And so I feel like if you already know that going into it, then it's on you. But if they didn't know, if this was another situation of them saying, oh, we have this miracle weight loss drug and the side effects, they aren't serious. Now you would expect something, maybe like, I don't know, headache, dry mouth, right? Diarrhea. But gallbladder removal, yeah, that's kind of serious. So I guess for me, that's what it comes down to. But you got to be careful with shit like that, you know, because we have a lot of overweight people in America and a lot of people struggling with their weight, dieting, working out, and things like that. So I can see why a lot of people would get desperate, you know, to take a drug like that, even if the side effects are potentially severe. Um, but for me, as long as they let it be known, like just if you are in medicine and you're creating these different treatments or things like that, like just let the side effects be known. Like just let like don't even hide it. Cause for something like that, like a super weight loss drug, people gonna take it regardless. People would take it like don't give them a way to sue you. That's all I'm saying. Don't don't give them a way to lose the weight and get paid by you and lose a gallbladder. But yeah, I mean, just I'm telling you, people will take it even knowing it's serious side effects. FBI is going after gamers. Peaceful solution. Peaceful solution not possible. I think that society could change for the better peacefully. It would just require well, really either way, right? If whether you're talking about peacefully or through violence, it will require mass cooperation. I'm for peace. Love and peace. I'm for peace, love and peace. But the problem is always going to be the level of cooperation that's needed. And I think that's what we're lacking is overall cooperation. We're so divided on just so many different aspects of our society and cultures and whatnot. It's just again, we're too divided to come together and make something happen for the better. Um, One of the main reasons why I think we're screwed is like you guys remember the needle in the arm situation. And when people started losing their jobs because they didn't want to get needle in the arm, and then even in like Australia, when they had like the really bad lockdowns and things like that, and then people went outside to protest and they were getting their head, they were getting their head beat in, they were getting beat up by cops in the street and shit like that. Um, the scariest thing about that whole situation to me is how many people I saw who were cheering these types of things on. Like your fellow people, your fellow man. We were so divided on this issue that people were like, yeah, take their jobs. Yeah, kick their asses. Yeah, if you gotta kick the door in and forcefully, right? Do it. Like these are the people you go to work with. These are the people you went to school with. That's one of the main reasons why I think that we're screwed, because it's too easy to turn people against each other. It's way too easy. It's far too easy. That's why I think we are screwed. Because people were celebrating that shit. They were celebrating people losing their jobs and getting fired. They were celebrating people getting their asses kicked in the street. They were celebrating. That's scary, bro. That's scary. And so, regardless of whether you want to take it peacefully or violently, that's what you're up against. And if you try January 6th, another example, another example, perfect example, right? Of people being divided on an issue, because you can look at that like, okay, well, it's an insurrection, or you can look at it like maybe they really thought that it was voter fraud, and they were trying to stand up and protest for what they thought was right. But you get the right narrative, and you'll turn half the country against the other half. That's why I don't think we have much hope either way. Either way, because regardless of what your choice of action is, again, I want peace. You still got to have cooperation, and we're not going to have that. People literally feeding the beast system. Yeah, just gobble gobble. You gonna play Persona 3 Reload? Absolutely. When I get some money. when I get some money, I'll play it. My plan though, I want to get a new laptop so I can stream in higher quality, right? And that's when I'll probably do the Persona 3, Persona 5 Royal streams and whatnot. Because I want to stream myself playing those. And so I'll probably wait until then, but I got to get some. I need a couple $100. Somebody donated $2 earlier, so we're we're on the way. We're on the way. The only money that I really get is either my mom paying me for chores. I get some money from streaming, like music streams on Spotify and other services, but that's not a lot. I get like $100 from YouTube, like once or twice a year, and I get Patreon. I get like anywhere from like $20 to $40 on Patreon, depending. Depending. Society is an inverted triangle. More old people than young people. Yeah, especially in like Japan? Oh yeah, they got it real bad. Did you know Funimation ruined Dragon Ball Z? What do you mean? Elaborate. They always say AI or something will replace us. I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, the transhumanists can have their fantasies. I'm kind of fucked up too. I want to see it. I want to I want to know. I want to see what it looks like. But first, can I just have the AI video generator uncensored? But I guess this isn't necessarily AI. This is more like something else. But they got like self-checkout at the local grocery store now. Walmart had them first. But now they got them at like even the local grocery store. They got like a mix of like, they still got regular checkout, but they got the self-checkout. They got like 4 new self-checkout machines in there too. And I asked one of the guys in there, I was like, does the store run smoother now that you have the self-checkout? He was like, nope. He said it made it worse. And I'm just guessing, but probably because you got a lot of people in there who don't know how to use it. Older people who aren't really, don't know how to use anything with a screen attached to it. And also probably having to watch out for theft. Fixing the education system would go a long way. Far too much ignorance is going on in Dunning. Yes, that's a great idea. Save Safe XP. I'll put you on my cabinet. That's an excellent idea. Very excellent. Definitely. I think throughout my entire time in school, I probably had like one good teacher. I probably had like one good teacher. It was a little old white lady, and she was like a disciplinarian. Like she kept the whole class in check. You couldn't sleep, you couldn't eat, you couldn't cut up. And she had some bad cats in there too. She had them, she had some game bangers in there. I mean, you either fell in line or you got the fuck out. Man, but she was my best teacher. She was easily my best teacher. That was my social studies teacher. I got a B in that class. And I could have got an A in there if I really tried. The only reason I got a B because she forced you to do shit. All my other classes, they let me sleep and not do anything. So I feel like everyone knows the Z dub is a mess. I mean, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I watched like Dragon Ball Z was like my first anime. So well one of my first anime. And so that was before, I would even care about the quality of a dub or something like that. You know. I mean, maybe by comparison it's worse. But I never looked at them side by side. The only Dragon Ball that I watched subbed was Dragon Ball Super because I was watching Dragon Ball Super as it came out. So I wasn't willing to wait for the dub. But I feel like my ears are just so acclimated to the dub to where I don't really care. My ears are just like I'm acclimated to it. But I'm sure like if you watched it later, maybe it would be more offensive, be more offensive to your ears. But I grew up with it, so I don't really think of it. I don't really think of it that way. I'm talking about the picture quality on DBZ. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice. Their DBZ releases have always been trash, especially that cheap Blu-ray they did years ago. The colors are all messed up. The orange bricks. Have you seen the French Blu-ray of Dragon Ball? It looks really good. Well, now we're having the Dragon Ball discussion. That's great. I love those. Sad the Dragon boxes were only a limited release. I have the whole set and one D box. You gotta have like, if you're gonna own any anime, that's the perfect one to own. I just got a few movies. I got like the first couple of Dragon Ball movies and like one Dragon Ball Super manga. I don't buy a lot of like DVDs and shit because most of everything is online now. When I had a job, I would buy stuff like that though. You think people can't team up for a common interest? They can, but not to the extent to which would be required for a significant change. I mean, even look at January 6th was a team up. And now look at him in jail, in prison, forgotten, rotting away in solitary confinement. So that's what we'll get. We'll team up. We'll team up and then get beat down. Right, but regardless, that's the problem. You would need enough. You would need enough people to get to enough cooperation. That's gonna be the problem. It's too many normies, too many NPCs, too many sheeps. That's why we're screwed. It's too many of them. Way too many of them. I saw this. I don't know how true this is, but you guys know that actor and martial artist, Michael Ja White. He played Spawn in the '90s Spawn movie. He was in the I think the Batman Dark Knight movie for like a little bit. He got killed by Joker. Um, he's been a lot of different shit. But he said when he tried to become a police officer, they told him that his IQ was too high. They say he was too smart, and he was implying that the police officer recruitment protocol is to not recruit people who are too intelligent. They want people who are more easy to program. So when shit hits the fan and then them nightsticks come out, you're going to have the worst of the sheep beating your ass when you're trying to protest peacefully. The whole needle in the arm thing were essentially pointless, wearing not just the mask but the weird cones. kids not being able to go outside and play, having to constantly maintain. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I remember I was donating plasma during like the height of the pandemic and the social distancing and all that. And oh my God, they were so serious about it in there. Like they had the stickers on the floor where you had to stand on your sticker, and then the next person had to stand on the next sticker. Like there was like a few, like I guess like a foot or two away or something like that. You had to have the mask on. If you didn't have the mask on, they were gonna flip. But yeah, I'm glad we're over that shit. I kind of miss the mask thing though. Like people got creative as fuck with the mask. MGTOW Neek. Exactly. The whole system fall apart. Working under that was hell. Wait, you talking about you talking about working during COVID restrictions? That had to be terrible. That had to be terrible. But hold up, there's a point to this stream. I know we're sitting here just cutting up and shit. But I want to play a video. I got to react to a video here. Fair use, by the way. So you guys know I got rejected pretty bad. So I want to laugh at somebody else getting rejected. So I found this video here by Process 22. It's a PUA fail, picking up girls fail rejection plus infield compilation. Hold up, do I need my I might need my headphones for this. Hold up. Give me a second here. Oh. All right. We got some headphones now. Plug these into my speakers. Oh, there we go. Okay. That should be good. All right. Desktop audio. Let me make sure everything is right. Okay. I think we're good to go. Put that on about 15. Okay. And there we go. All right. Oh. Give us comments. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let me laugh at these goofballs. I need to feel better about myself. Fair use. Let me give this guy a like. Oh shit, I'm not signed in. I'll remember to give you a like later, buddy.
Anybody on the street, just chat to them, and they talk to you. They're not really care. Who you are, where you come from, what you look like.
So, excuse me. Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah.
Like, you look like you're studying way too much, and I'm not studying at all. I tried to talk to you, but I don't think it's working. Like, you're pretty cute. I was like, oh, I wonder if I could talk to her, but...
All right, well, I'm gonna get going. Oh, don't do my boy like that.
Where you headed?
Oh, he should have stopped right there. So he tried to start small talk. And then she said, I'm gonna get going. And then he said, where are you headed? See, right there, that's called reading the room. That's called reading the room. That's a perfect example when you don't really get the hint, right? That right there, I would know, okay, time to fall back. I wouldn't even talk to her in the first place, but you know.
I was gonna see if I could walk you, but I don't think it's working out.
Oh, he got it. I like those legs.
Are you sure it's like dangerous on the way to the restroom? Alright.
Girls got to deal with this shit every day, bro.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
My niggas.
I took my meds today, so I don't know how to do this.
Oh, I remember this. These are some kids.
Haley, will you go out with me? Nope. Eat. Just say no. Fuck you, Josh. I'm so sorry. It's alright. We're going to bed. I understand. I'm sorry. Oh no. You can keep these. No, I'm sorry. I don't care. I'll take them. I'm really sorry.
Oh God, like he's a kid, so I'm not gonna laugh at him, right? He's a kid and he's doing more than what I've ever done in my life. But you can tell, like I'm not gonna say he's devastated, but he's flustered. He's so flustered that he's like, "But look, you can take the flowers anyway." like what's the that to me? That's a nervous move. I'm nervous. I got rejected. I got to take this L. I don't know what to do next. So here you go. Take the flowers that you don't want.
I know this is weird, but you seem quite fun to talk to.
I feel like I remember this guy.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard that too many times. You seem quite fun to talk to.
You look very suspicious. You looked really adorable. I had to come over and hit on you. That's the truth. Are you that busy you can't talk to me for 2 minutes?
I am actually.
Oh.
But thank you.
You looked really adorable. I had to come over and hit.
Hold up. Oh.
I know this is weird, but you seem quite fun to talk to.
Whoa. And I'm glad I went back because I didn't notice what she did. Like she eyed him. She looked him up and down and then was like, okay, whatever. Just kept moving. Oh my God. This is the ugly reality of just ask her out, bro. This is brutal.
You look very suspicious. You looked really.
He said, you look suspicious. That was his PUA opener. That was his opening line. You look suspicious. Like, and look at what she said. She said, I'm busy right now, man. Like she knew. She already knew look, girls know. They know. But she didn't even play along with it. Like some girls would be like what? Or he, like she was like, not today, nigga.
Really adorable. I had to come over and hit on you. That's the truth. Are you that busy you can't talk to me for 2 minutes?
I am actually. But thank you.
All right.
And then she got up and left.
Forward. Don't get run over. I saw you, and I thought I'm going to come and say hello because I thought you looked hot. I'm going to sort of be honest.
I have a boyfriend, but thank you.
You stay lying.
I have a boyfriend, but thank you. That's all right. That's not bad. He shot his shot. She could have lied, but whatever. She told him that I have a boyfriend. That's cool, right? That's not right. Fine.
Fine, shit. Trifling ass. You got me fucked up. Shit.
I had to stop
Hold
everything.
up. What was that?
Risk everything.
You stay lying, shit.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Trifling ass. You got me fucked
I got it.
up.
So the video is saying that she was lying. I
I
got it.
had to stop everything, risk everything, and say hello. As the boyfriend appears.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just, hitting on your girlfriend. I couldn't help myself. Look at her.
So he started talking to her as the boyfriend showed up. That's one of my great fears of asking out girls. Like you ask out a girl and then boyfriend right around the corner. I remember too, I was in the grocery store one time and I saw this girl. Now I would never talk to her, but you know, the thought crosses my mind naturally. And so I see her and probably 5 seconds after I notice her, I see a guy come around the corner and it's obviously her boyfriend. And I've seen that like several times throughout my life. And again, it's not like I'm thinking about asking her out. It's just like I see a girl, I find her attractive. If I was the type of guy to ask girls out, that would be the time to go, right? Oh, you see it, lock in, go. But if I would have acted in those moments, I would have ran smack dab into her goddamn boyfriend. But I guess that's one of the risks that you have to take when you do the whole day game or night game or code approach thing. Like that just comes with it. But that's why I think, like for me, if I were to ask girls out, I would want to at least gather some data first. I need to get some information first. I need to know, like, who are you? Do you have kids? Do you have a boyfriend? Shit like that. This is part of the problem with code approach and just asking out random women. You don't know them. You don't know if they got a husband or what.
Excuse me, do you want to hear a story for a second?
Yes.
I was literally practicing my skills all day just so I can come over and say hi to you. Hi.
That's it?
Yeah, what's up?
No, I'm not talking. Sorry.
You're not allowed to. No. You're on the phone. Well, like before, okay, well, I'll transition to this lady. You wouldn't believe what just happened. It's just, she rejected me. It's really sad. Can you believe that?
I'm waiting for my friend.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a normal thing to do, I think, to wait for your friend. I don't want to interrupt you then. You do your thing.
Hi. You look quite fun.
I feel like that last clip is a cold. It's the cold reality of what you're dealing with when you go out and you try to ask out girls. You saw how uninterested the first girl was. And she just keeps walking, like, get away from me type walking. And then he does this funny thing where he transitions to the next girl. And it's kind of funny what he's saying, but then she's completely in her own world. She's completely in her own zone. She's like, I'm waiting for someone. And it's just, from a male perspective, it really is just, it's a cold, and that's why they call it cold approach, because it's a cold ass world. Where you're dealing with cold women who just don't have any interest in you. And this isn't to shit on them. You know, they're not obligated to reciprocate or to want to date you or anything like that. But it's just like when you're trying to talk to random girls like that and they don't know you and they're not interested in you, like it's brutal. It really is.
Talk to, but you seem to be in a rush.
Don't go, you hear me?
Hey, sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I was just walking past and I noticed you. I thought you looked really nice. No, thank you. You don't even know what I'm asking. What's that? Pardon?
Why are you asking?
I know, because I just thought you looked nice. I was just giving you a compliment. You're not what?
I'm not really interested.
I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving free compliments to people. That's all it is.
All right, so, God, to me, this is another example of a guy trying too hard. Read the room. The second you tried to say something to her, she said, I'm not interested. No. Right there, it's like, oh, let me fall back. I think sometimes guys are trying to save face, though, because it probably doesn't feel good to get rejected like that. And so I feel like they keep talking to try to just make themselves feel better or to maybe exit the situation and like looking better than if they just accept their rejection. But to me, this never helps, because I feel like if you ask a girl out, or not even ask a girl out, but if you approach a girl with the intent of trying to get her number and trying to date her. And she responds like just very coldly, like just like and she just instantly shuts you down. You got to hold that. Just hold it. Don't try to recover. Don't try to get back at her. Don't try to save it. Like, cause she already let you know, like, no, I know what this is. I know what you're doing. No. Now what? Now what? And some guys can't just accept that.
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me. This is really forward. I just saw you strutting down the steps.
Hi, Brian.
And I thought you looked quite hot.
Who's the cameraman here?
But you look so young.
I'm 29.
Really? We'll take it as a compliment. You look about 18. Fresh face 18.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Have a lovely day.
I don't know about that. He said he called her. He said she looked like a fresh faced 18-year-old. I don't think that's the line I would have went with. Whoa.
What are you doing walking around with this goofy hat? This goofy hat.
What are you talking about, sir?
It's goofy.
Goofy?
Yeah.
What's your name?
You need a new hat. My name is Vadim.
My husband's a police officer with 52 Division. You want me to call him?
No, it's okay.
No? You shouldn't talk about a goofy hat. What about your goofy hat?
It's not goofy.
What is your problem?
You look really lovely. I want to say hello.
I think what he was doing there, that was supposed to be a negging, right? That was supposed to be. Oh, hold on, make sure. Okay, it's a bit too. Let me turn it up some. Oh, yeah. I always forget something. But yeah, I think he was trying to neg there. I think he was doing the whole insult her to. Right, he talked about her hat, said she had a goofy looking hat. That's negging. And it backfired immediately.
Where are you from?
Great.
Lovely to meet you, Johnny.
Nice to meet you, Johnny.
You're
I'm really good, yes.
Yeah? How's your day been?
Good. I'm waiting for my date.
How are you?
Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
excited?
Very excited, yeah.
How'd you meet him?
At uni.
Uni?
Yes.
Alright, I'll go. I don't want him to come and feel jealous or fret. Yeah, you're lovely. He's got good
Thank you
taste.
very much.
Pleasure. Hope the day goes
I
well, right?
appreciate the courage for speaking to me.
Yeah, it's a
She said, I appreciate the courage. I appreciate the courage for, I don't know, bruh. I just feel like whenever people act like talking to a girl is like this super courageous thing, I can't really buy into that, I get it. Guys have fear of rejection and shit like that, but I don't consider talking to girls as being courageous. I don't. I really don't. I think it's more so like just I don't know, maybe like anti-pussy. But not really courageous, bro. I hate that association. Like you did so much. Right? I think I just think it says more about this generation and how weak we are. That's a big deal when it really shouldn't be.
pleasure. I appreciate how lovely you look. Have a nice day, alright? Pleasure.
You too.
Nice
Have
to
a
meet
good night.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Hi. Don't panic. I'm not crazy or anything. I only wanted to tell you, you look absolutely amazing. You're gonna run away from me now? You're gonna run away?
I feel like that's what I would have done. Like I would hop out like, hey, hello. Hello.
What about you? What are you doing?
I'm going to meet my boyfriend, actually.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Another time, let's grab a drink.
I have a boyfriend, so I don't.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, look, it's every girl has a boyfriend at some stage in their life, right?
I don't really think it's it's necessary.
You don't think it's an accessory?
No, necessary.
What's having a boyfriend?
No, necessary to exchange numbers.
What, you don't find me attractive?
No, you are really nice.
Oh, I see, I got
I've
it.
been together with my boyfriend for long.
Okay,
so.
lovely to meet you.
Mwah, bye.
Whoa, he kissed her on the head.
Hey, what up, baby girl?
Can I help you with something?
Yeah, we're just trying to come up on a number right quick. You think I could pull up on a number? Just real quick?
Unfortunately, I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. Hey, but let me know right quick. Let me know. Hit me up whenever y'all get divorced, all right? Let me get your number, just so you can hit me up.
No thanks.
I did. I did. Shit.
I propose you join me for coffee for 5 minutes, and then I will send you out, send you away.
Sorry, that's really nice.
But
I'm gonna pass.
you are you all right? Bye.
He took the L and he left.
All right.
Great. I love you.
How are you doing?
Oh, I remember this guy. I know this guy.
Oh. Okay, well, great conversation.
Wow, are you reading that in Spanish?
Oh, I seen this one before. I love this one. This one is great. And it's black people.
Are you learning Spanish or?
I'm trying to learn Spanish.
You're trying to learn Spanish? Okay, cool. Well, I had just I was walking through. I'm actually taking French, and I saw you in this white dress, and I just wanted to come over and say hello and introduce myself to you. See.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. I'm Callion.
So I think this is another example of a guy not really accurately reading the situation. You know, you're talking to her, you're trying to engage with her in the conversation, and she's just completely focused on what she's doing. Like, she's trying to tell you through body language, leave me the fuck alone. You know, like, she isn't showing any sort of reciprocation of his attention. Because if she were, she would, you know, lower the book, face him, look at him, right? And she's just like, Again, man, sometimes you just got to take the L.
Oh, okay.
You are really like laser beam focused, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really trying to learn this.
Okay, so have you like taken classes and you're looking at the newspaper? Because you're looking at the newspaper, not like one of the mini educational books here.
Yeah, I've taken Spanish before.
Okay, like a couple of years or?
No, just a semester.
Just a semester? Okay, cool. I've been actually heading to Paris, and I mean, it's not Spanish, but I'm heading to Paris in August, and so I'm doing my best to bone up on the language so I can not feel like a tourist.
Yeah, because you don't want to stand out like a tourist, right?
Right, you don't want to stand out like a tourist, and then Parisians can be really rude sometimes, and it's just weird. So, I would love it if, wow, you are really focused like a laser beam, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I tell you what, you should get a drink with me.
Drink. No.
Wow.
Wow. What's wow about it? She said no.
Ooh, talk about cold.
I still love you.
Wait, hi,
That's why they call it cold.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. How you doing? You alright? Don't worry. I just thought you looked nice. I was going to say hello. I'm on my way anyway.
Oh my
to
Lord.
Chinatown. You look very nice, I have to say.
Excuse me. Hi. Don't take this the wrong way, but you are the hottest girl I've seen in the last 15 minutes. And there's so many girls out here right now. Just one question. How many boyfriends do you have? One? Is it a proper boyfriend? He's not imaginary. What's his name? You hesitated. You totally made him up.
No, I am seeing someone then.
All right,
Not
then.
my boyfriend.
He got her.
I don't really talk to strangers.
What?
I'm not talking to strangers.
You don't talk to strangers?
Oh, God. That was beautiful. He got her. What's his name? You couldn't just say John Timothy? Bro. Oh, God. That was wonderful. Put me back on the cam. Oh, God. That's all I can stomach. Oh, God damn. That was great, though. You know, for all his L's, and I'm sure he got a lot of them, that was, like, I feel like he did that one for men across the globe. These lying-ass bitches telling me I got a boyfriend. I get it, though, because that's the easiest way to reject somebody. I do the same thing, right? I remember this gay dude was hitting on me at the park, and once, you know, he started like those guys. He started with the small talk. We were talking about Trump or some shit. And then once he escalated and let me know that he thought I was hot, you know, I lied and said that I said I had a couple girlfriends. You know, so I understand. I understand. You know, it's the perfect excuse. Are girls getting hit on as much as they used to, with guys leaving dating apps and men afraid to talk to girls for legal reasons? I would think girls getting hit on has decreased. Probably, maybe. You know, you do see those videos of girls getting online and saying, "Why aren't men approaching? Men aren't approaching anymore." But I don't think it really matters, because even if men aren't approaching as much, if you're a decent looking girl, you're gonna have options. You're gonna have options anyway. So I feel like the lack of men approaching or code approaching, you know, it's just something for girls to talk about. It's just something for girls to complain about, to make a TikTok video about, or something like that. I seriously doubt that any decent looking girl is in dire straits to find a guy willing to date her or have sex with her. And I think that, you know, just because of the very nature of social media and dating apps and things like that, all you got to do is put yourself out there. That's all you got to do. Like, as a woman, with very minimum effort, you know, as a woman, there is no excuse. There is no excuse when you got Tinder. And, you know, me and Iris, we even talked about it during the interview. And she talked about how, you know, even though she might struggle to find a guy that she's compatible with, she said that she knows she can just get on Tinder and or any social media and put the word out, "I'm looking for a boyfriend," and boom, right? Somebody will pop up. So again, I think, you know, it might be true, but regardless, it's not like girls are suffering. It's not like they're suffering because of it. They still gonna have plenty of options. Social circle maxing is the way. Code approach has too many variables, a lot of risk, and a low chance of success. Yeah, it's just not for me. It's not for me. I can see how it could be fun, but when they say code, it really is like, it's code, and it's almost like you're talking to. It's almost like you're in a video game or something, and you're the main character, and you're talking to the NPCs and shit, and then like they have a pre-programmed response. Like you're not going to be able to do more or say more or interact with them beyond what they're programmed to do, you know. And that's kind of how that world of code approaching looks, you know. It's just like you're just running from person to person, girl to girl, trying to find somebody that's going to actually light up when you speak to them and you connect with them, and it's like, okay, I feel something. Because if there isn't an established connection, if there isn't mutual attraction, then it's just going to be this feeling of coldness, you know. It's a dreary thing, but it's probably very satisfying when it works, though. But yeah, I agree. I think that's what a lot of guys are missing. I think a lot of guys, they're missing that social circle that would make it a lot easier to get a girlfriend. Because I think a social circle, what it does that code approach can't give you is that, you know, it gives you the opportunity to actually interact with people regularly, know who they are, see how they are, and they get the same with you, you know. Like, I think had I had a bigger social circle, if I wasn't such a homebody, I probably would have been lost my virginity. I think I would do much better in an environment where I had an actual social circle. But I think for me, code approaching would be a disaster. It would be a disaster. I'm too weird. I'm too weird, and I get uncomfortable when I try to consciously turn it down. So, you know, people always talk about if I code approach, I might get the cops called on me and shit like that. Like, a lot of times these guys, they're exaggerating. Me, like, I might really get in trouble. I might really get in trouble because, like, I'm legitimately weird. I'm legitimately weird. PUAs would say the code approach 100 girls, and if they all fail, the PUAs will blame you. So ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess they want you to think about your approach. They want you to adjust, like, how you approach the girl, how you talk to them. Like, they try to break it down to a science. Like, it's certain things you don't do. Like, one thing they'll say is, like, don't stand in front of the girl. Like, don't obstruct her. Don't get in the way. If she's walking, walk with her. You know, stuff like that. So I think, you know, they give some solid advice. But I think the main aspect that they always ignore is that the lookism part and the reasoning why a woman might reject you and things like that. But I think also that's probably for the best with some of these guys, because if you focus too much on that, you'll convince yourself not to talk to anyone. You'll be like me, unless you're comfortable dying a virgin, you know. Sometimes you do need a little bit of that. Like, you need a healthy amount of delusion, you know, to succeed in something like code approaching and just talking to random girls and shit like that. You need some delusion. You gotta believe. You gotta believe something about yourself, you know, because if you look at it too logically, like I do, you'll never ask a girl out. Because logic is going to tell you that there's a 99.9% chance that you're going to get rejected. And it's true. So you got to be like Kamina. You got to kick logic out and do the impossible. Like, that's how you got to look at it. So I kind of understand it, but I just tend to look at things more logically when it comes to dating and shit. So does it really, you know, wouldn't really work for me. I would try to talk to girls in a friendly manner without even thinking about hitting on them, and they would assume I was asking. Oh yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I've never experienced that myself, because I think it's probably very rare. Yeah, I can't think of many situations where I had to talk to a random girl though. So that's the thing. Only girls I talk to are the cashiers. That's true. Only girls I talk to are the cashiers. So I don't really run into those situations. I just don't talk to girls that aren't family or cashiers. Don't panic would immediately make me panic. Code approaching seems like something that might work better in a school environment. This is just so awkward. And if it had to be a school environment, I say college. College is probably the best place to do some shit like that. But even then, it might be bad because if you develop a reputation, that could be an issue too. You don't want to develop a reputation. And, you know, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard some guys say that it's possible that if too many girls see you get rejected, they look at you like, oh, that's the guy that goes around getting rejected. So they'll like you less knowing that other girls don't want you. So you got to think, if a girl is a 7 or 8 and she sees you get rejected by a 5 or a 6, how is that going to make you look to her? So I think that's probably one of the issues with code approaching in an environment where you're going to be in, or an environment that you're going to be in for a while. where people are going to get to know you and see you. And if you keep doing it, and again, I don't know how true this is. I've seen guys say that. Like girls might see you getting rejected and they just look then now they see you as that. They see you getting rejected and now they see you as someone to reject. So you don't get a fresh start past a certain point. Like now you're that guy. You don't get a chance to be, hey, you don't know me, but I know you. I saw it. I saw what happened. In a school environment, you would have more time to get to know the girl. It would be more organic. Yeah, that too. You know, you do get that whole because then you know and you can observe, right? You can sit back and you can watch, and you can observe and you can see things. Like you'll know who has a boyfriend, you'll know who has a husband, you'll know this, you'll know who has kids, stuff like that. You know, I remember I was thinking about talking to this girl that worked at the Dollar Tree. I told this story before. I was seriously considering it because she kept talking to me. And so I was thinking about it, never did it. But later on, I found out that she had a kid. I saw her come into the store with like a baby in her arm. I'm like, damn. I'm thinking about asking this bitch out. She got a whole kid. But that's part of the problem with asking out people you don't know. You know, had I known, I would have never even considered it. But, you know, when you don't know people, you ask them out, they might say yeah, but then they got a kid or some shit, you know, and then now you got to, how do I get myself out of this one? Oh, God. It's got to be hard dating as a girl with a kid. That's almost like having herpes. It's almost like, it's got to be like a similar feeling because it's like, you know, it's a big mark against you, right? You know that it's going to turn off a lot of guys. And you got to tell them. You got to tell them, right? At some point. Like, oh, just... Like the good thing, like as undateable as I am, at least I don't have like that kind of baggage, right? And at least I don't have like that type of shit hanging over my head, you know. It's like me and my friend, we were talking about, you know, if he ever left his relationship, you know, he's like 3 or 4 kids deep, right? That's a lot of damn kids. And we were talking about how if he ever left that relationship, what dating would be like for him and how difficult it would be, you know, because you got to find a girl who's going to be okay with dating a guy who already has like 3 or 4 kids. Like, that's crazy. Tinder is for an ego boost. Girls rarely meet up with guys online. But I'm just saying, like, if you want it, it's there. It's there for you if you want it. Like, so when girls complain, they don't really have a lot to complain about. I think they're complaining just to hear themselves talk. Because if you want it, it's there. You can get on Tinder and you can, like, I think most girls are single by choice. Most girls are single not because they don't have options. Again, I'm single. I'm single. I've been, man, like girls don't understand. So when I see them complaining and talking about, oh, guys aren't approaching, please. How about nobody you like ever likes you ever? Your whole life. Let's have that discussion. I'm too good looking to blame it on look. Yeah, I think me too. You know, I think if I was taller, I probably would not be a virgin right now. Does being a NEET help accelerate the decline? If enough people do it, sure. If enough, right? But you want to accelerate the decline. Yeah, don't work, don't have kids. Yeah, how can we accelerate the decline? I see people always say that, but I never thought about it seriously. It just sounds so crazy. But damn, maybe that's that. Just like, let's accelerate. Yeah, just everybody need up. You know, need up. Yeah, just overload the system. Sounds like a great plan. Okay, we got through all the comments. We had a great stream tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'm trying to get at least one of these Neat and Chill streams or whatever streams in a week, because I know you guys love these so much. So I don't know when I'll do it next week, but I'll try to carve out some time in a day, and so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next stream. So